Hey guys, welcome back to another Quickfreeze versus reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on Captain America and the Avengers for the Super Nintendo. Now before I go on, I just want to say that this particular video was requested to me by a fellow YouTuber by the name of Megatenkota. So I just want to give out a shout out, a thanks to him for sending in a request, because without him requesting this video, it wouldn't be made, it wouldn't be reviewed. So I just want to say thank you for requesting this game, Megatenkota. Captain America and the Avengers was originally developed and released for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and was also released as an arcade game by Data East in 1991, featuring Marvel superhero characters. The game itself received many different ports. A home version of the game was released on the Sega Genesis console in 1992. A year later, Mindscape released their own port for the Game Boy, Game Gear, and the Super Nintendo, which is the version that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today. Now, the story of this game seems to come straight out of a comic book or a Saturday morning cartoon. The evil Red Skull has assembled an army of supervillains and henchmen in a plot to take over the world. Or at least that's how it sounds in the narration. This game has tons of villains, and I mean tons and tons of villains. You'll be battling against guys like the Claw, the Living Laser, Whirlwind, Wizard, Grim Reaper, the Mandarin, Ultron, the Assassin Crossbones, and it even borrows enemies from the X-Men, such as the Sentinels and Juggernaut, with the Red Skull being the final boss of the game. So right there's a huge lineup of villains, and who's ready to stop them and save the world? Well, the game wouldn't be called Captain America and the Avengers if they weren't in it and they weren't ready to stop the baddies. Players can choose to play as one of the 4 members of the Avengers, either Captain America, the super soldier, Iron Man, the inventor, Hawkeye, the masked archer, or Vision, the robotic adventurer. The game itself features 2 different styles of gameplay. The first being a typical side-scrolling beat-em-up where either 1 or 2 players can fight together. Each hero can fight either hand-to-hand, fight by throwing items found on the ground or other enemies, or use a ranged attack, such as Captain America has his shield, Hawkeye has his bow and arrow, and both Iron Man and Vision have laser beams. Now, I would get very familiar with those range attacks because I find the hand-to-hand combat somewhat useless, and this is what I mean. You know how in most games when you're hit, you're given a brief moment of invincibility? Well, you do get that here, but you're also knocked to the ground, and by the time you're back on your feet, you are no longer invincible. And the game designers seem to give this ability to your enemies as well, but unfortunately, they do not fall to the ground, letting them have that brief moment of invincibility. This leaves you unable to do any damage to them, while they are free to just hit you and lay on the damage. Now, when you use range attacks and hit an enemy, this will cause them to fall to the ground, making it a much preferred way of fighting, because the other way, they just don't fall to the ground, as I said before. The other style of gameplay, as I mentioned before, is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up style, much like R-Type, where you control your Avenger around the screen, shooting whatever that moves. This I find a nice break from the hard beat-'em-up levels. The only thing I don't care about these parts is the fact that you have to keep mashing down the fire button. It would have been a lot better to have the ability to just hold down the fire button and just do like a rapid fire type of thing, because you get very, very tired in your thumb. It's also kind of funny playing these sections because both Iron Man and the Vision have the ability to fly, while Captain America and Hawkeye are stuck using these flying machines? During the game, you also encounter other Avengers, such as the Wasp, Quicksilver, Wonder Man, and Submariner, which will give you special power-ups, allowing those characters to temporarily assist the player. The music in this game has this upbeat, heroic style that just seems to fit the game perfectly. Now, I don't know how it sounds on the Sega Genesis or the arcade versions of the game, but the Super Nintendo, it just sounds great. And the game is filled with various sound effects that really add to the game. Sounds like explosions, villainous laughs, laser blasts, and much more. The game simply just sounds great and looks great. Now, this game is really hard, especially if you're playing alone like I did. I had to put this game on easy with 5 extra lives, and I still couldn't get past the 3rd stage. But I think the hard difficulty really makes this game worthwhile, because it makes you want to go back, try harder, try to get further, just so you can see other parts of the game, which really only contains 5 stages. So, would I recommend this game to anyone? Well, like I said before, this game is really hard, and the hand-to-hand combat I just find kinda useless. But the hard difficulty just makes you want to keep playing, keep trying to get as far as possible in the game as you possibly could. So, Captain America and the Avengers for the Super Nintendo, yeah, I would definitely recommend this to anyone, especially if you're a hardcore beat-em-up fan. So guys, that is my review for Captain America and the Avengers for the Super Nintendo. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys give this game a try, because it really is a good game. But with that, I just want to say I'm Quickfreeze from Quickfreeze's Game Room, and I'm here to bring gamers together one game at a time. Later, guys.